Here's the pattern for the self-faced placket. Thread mark, center front, and the 2 fold lines, and press this edge back, and then press on this fold line. So here's this edge folded back, this edge folded back, then just top stitch on that edge. Here it is from the face with the top stitch. If this is the underlap side, you can stop there. If it's the overlap side, you'll want to do another top stitch on this edge. For the placket where the tuck conceals the raw edge, cut out this pattern with no seam allowance on this edge. Thread mark the fold, the center front, and the other fold line. Press back on the first fold line. It should come right to the second thread mark. Baste this edge in place just next to the center front line. So here's my center front line, and there's my basting. Press on this fold line and then top stitch about 1/4 inch from that edge. So here it is top stitched, then press open, and then top stitched again 1/4 inch from this fold. These are the pattern pieces for the short placket that is separate pieces. Cut one on the straight grain and cut the placket piece on the bias out of a plaid fabric. I took care when cutting to make sure that the center front line fell on the center of my pattern. This is the wrong side of my shirt piece, the neckline here. My stitching line is here in red, and my center front is this white line. I've thread marked the center front and the fold line on my bias piece as well. So that's this and this one. I've pinned the right side of my bias to the wrong side of my shirt. It will wrap around. So here it is stitched together, pressed open. The seam allowance is trimmed to a nice clean 1/4 inch, pressed back, this edge pressed under, and now I can top stitch 1/4 inch from each side. Here it is top stitched, and see how nice it is? This edge is really just a fold of fabric, and the seam allowance is pressed open so the whole thing stays nice and flat.